Hey everyone, my name is Ronak and this is Python programming tutorials right from the scratch. This is tutorial number 38 and in this tutorial I will be covering the exception handling, okay? So what really are exceptions? Exceptions are the type of errors that are encountered by the user, okay? By the user. So there is a difference between the syntactual error and the value errors, like the errors created by the users. I will just teach you with an example. So what we can do is let's try to read a file that is not present, okay? So let's say z.txt and just say read, okay? Now this thing is actually going to raise an error. Yeah, it says file not found error, okay? And these are type of the errors. So this is an exception, but this is not the syntactual error, because see, now this thing doesn't make any sense, okay? Now if we run this thing, it says syntactual error, okay? This is a syntactual error. So exception handling is for the errors that are generated by the users, okay? And what it does is, now just let me run this again. Yeah, now what it does is, see, if we just try this thing, okay? And if you are writing your code, so what it will do is, if you have any kind of exception, like a person that has never used any program, okay, or has operated a program, tries to operate your program and type something that is not accepted by that function, right? So it is not accepted by the function. So what actually will happen is, it is going to raise an error and the code is going to halt, okay? It is not going further again because it says it is an error. Exception handling will actually point out that error, okay, and it will try to resolve it. Resolve in the sense, it will give you a hint, okay? It will give you a hint that something has to be done in the order to avoid that exception. So the syntax goes like this. It says try, okay, then we have except, okay? So this is the syntax. So try will actually have all of your code. So it is going to try and point out the exceptions, and except will generate the exception that creates the error. Fine. So now if we just go over here and just let me, so this was the command I was trying to run, and it is going to say file not found error, okay? So this error we can actually point out. So let's first of all try this code. So what we can say is open, okay, and what you want to open z.txt, but that is not available over here, so it is actually going to raise an error, okay? And now what we can say is accept, okay, accept and say file not found error, okay? So this was the error, remember, which is actually not going to open this thing. And then just say this file is not available over here. Now let's just just save this thing, and now let's just try to run this, and what it will do is, it will raise this error, okay? Yeah, it says this file is not available over here. Now if you have any code after this, it is actually going to run that code and it will raise this error, okay? So the statements after this thing are actually going to be executed after this, okay? And now what you can do is, now there are ample amount of errors, and let me just point those out. So let's just say, first of all, let me declare something, okay? And let's say a is equal to 10, okay? And in our try, and let's just print b. Fine. Yeah, now let's just run this thing. Let's say, what the hell. Now the error we get over here is type error, okay? This is type error. Now what actually happens is, when if you have watched my the user input tutorial, you might have got the idea. The input it takes over here is in the form of the string. Okay, just remember that it is in the form of the string. And now this file not error, file not found error is over here. But what now we will have to do is we will have to say except type error. Okay, what the type error, and here we can say please enter a number. Okay, now what it will do is it will check for the number. Now if we go over here, and it is actually going to accept the strings. So just let me do this way, and now if I run this thing, okay, and now let's just say ABC. Now it is value error. See the amount of errors we have. Okay, the amount of errors we have are immense. Okay, now this is type error, but just let me first of all show you the thing with the type error. We will actually get the answer, but now we can get another error. Okay, so it goes something like, if you try to divide this 10 by 0, okay, it is going to give you the 0 division error. It can be anything. You enter a string, you get an error. So you just cannot try the except for like each and every error. Okay, so you want something compact in that situation. So what we can do is we can actually just get rid of this thing and just try a general thing. Okay, so we can just say except, okay, and just say exception. So now this is going to point out all of the exceptions, and let's say something is not right. Okay, and now let's just print this thing. Now let's try to do something, and it says something is not right. Okay, so now you might have got an idea, and I would actually recommend you to not try this. Okay, because see, it is not going to point out every single error, and a novice user who has no experience with your program is actually going to mess up. Okay, so it is one way tedious, it is one way not tedious, but it is just fine. You can try this for the basic idea. And the last thing I would like to show you is something known as finally. And in the finally you will have to write a statement, and this is going to be executed every time, okay, in the end of the code, no matter what your code is right or no matter what your code is wrong. Okay, so you can just say let's just print something over here. So let's say print and code has finished executing. Okay, so now what it will do is, it is either you print the answer, either there is some error, it is going to execute the code. So it is finally something has happened. It is like that. Okay, so now if we say 0, it says something is not right, but it says code has finished executing because the code has entered. Okay, code is finished. So in the same manner, what we can do is we can also rerun this thing and try something else. We get the answer and it says code has finished executing. Okay, and in the same manner we can also organize this code until and unless you don't get the answer. Okay, so try this code to a different level. Okay, just let me try something, and I will take everything from here and just say while true. Okay, I hope this runs. I actually haven't tried something like this, and it says any number you want, let's say 0, and yeah, now what it will do is it will run the thing until and unless you don't enter the proper number over here. So this is a good way. Okay, you can just say while true and it is going to run, it is going to keep running until and unless you just don't write it in the proper way, and just let's say break and run this thing, and let's say 2, and the code has finished. Okay, but if you have an error, it is going to raise the error until and unless you type it right. So it is actually going to keep printing and printing and printing and printing. Okay, so this is a good way of trying. So I hope you might have got a little bit idea about the exception handling, and use of this thing is really great. Okay, you must have this in your arsenal while building any project, because you are definitely going to have a certain amount of errors when you are building a big project. Okay, you cannot deny that. So in that case, this thing is really handy. Okay, so just try this thing, try practicing it, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.